Hello, my name's Tony, welcome to Edinburgh, how are you? Hope you're happy, healthy and well. Today we are talking about one of the more gruesome stories of the building of the New Town here in Edinburgh. Now, I've talked about the building of the New Town a lot. Probably more of the nicer, grander sides of the stories, but they weren't all like that. There's a couple of not nice stories about the building of the New Town, and this is one of them. So let me show you where we are. This is Waterloo Place, right at the end of Waterloo Place, looking down towards Princess Street, right down there. And if I slowly turn around, we're literally at the start of Regent Road. So I suppose the corner of Regent Road and Waterloo Place. Now, one of the main features of Waterloo Place, and it is featured in videos as well, is the old Carlton burial ground, which is just over here. Let me show you. Here's the old Carlton burial ground. We'll go in, I'll show you one of the main things that I've showed before when we're here as well. Old cemeteries are always fun and fascinating to come into, and old cemeteries in Edinburgh are incredible to look at, and they've always got great stories. And this one isn't any different, like this right here. A statue, a memorial with Abraham Lincoln on it in the heart of Edinburgh in memory of Scottish American soldiers. I've done a story on this one already, so we won't go into that, but what we are going to look at is, I don't know if you can tell, there's the road, but if we look over there, doesn't that look like a cemetery over there as well? Over the other side of the wall? And not just another cemetery, the same cemetery. So one of the original issues before they could do it was, this looks flat and level and straight with buildings either side of it. But it's one of those old deceiving things here in Edinburgh. It's not. This isn't street level, or at least it is here. But these aren't on street level. Street level is actually down there, because Edinburgh is built on a lot of hills. And this is one of the main issues here. To build a road straight in, they were going to have to go over what is now Carlton Road. But there wasn't the time or the money or the want to really build this big bridge until a couple of factors sort of happened. The building of the prison over on Carlton, just behind, well, not behind us, but up to the right hand side of us right now, which is no longer a prison, but what was. And a few other factors, and eventually they decided to build this bridge, which allowed them to build a bus, always buses in my videos, build Waterloo Place leading on and straight in. So you've got this nice big road leading right into Princess Street in the heart of the New Town. There was one other issue, the old Carlton burial ground. Now it looks like it's got that lovely entrance going into it. That wasn't always the way. The cemetery wasn't built at the side of the road. The road was built through the cemetery. It used to go all the way across here and across there as well. And you know, if you look at it, you can notice that the wall there is the same as this wall here, blocking off both sides of the cemetery to each other. Now, I would love to say they were very respectful and moved all the graves with dignity, but they didn't. They didn't. People with money, of which there wasn't a massive amount in this particular cemetery, were moved. They were moved to other places, but the majority were just left. And I wonder where they all are now. They're all still under the road. They're all still there. All these old graves. The level has been a bit different, but there's still a fair few under there. Headstones and things like that, just taken down, just knocked down. Some of the stones were used in the building of the New Town. So, you know, waste not, want not, I suppose. But next time you're here, you get on one of the bus tours, you can say, you know, you're parked on top of a graveyard. The more gruesome side of building of the New Town. It was all about progress. It was all about progress. And whoever let a graveyard stand in the way of progress, or more specifically, whoever let the dead stand in the way of progress. However, like I said, it went through the middle of it, and as I've already pointed out, there is still some of the cemetery over this side. Now that's the side everyone goes in because you can see the steps and the stairs way into it. But if, and we will just do this journey all together right now, we head down here, and some of you give me a row when I'm crossing the road, I will look both ways, I will make sure I am safe. If you head down Cortland Hill, right here, behind Howie's Bistro, we will find the other half of the cemetery. I do love coming down this way. I always think this part here could be used in some sort of period drama. You know, the old lamppost could be easily disguised with the buildings and the steps. It's very romantic. Anyway, yeah, so we get to here. Parliament House Hotel is very nicely and delicately placed next door to Old Calton Burial Ground. Funny that, same name. And let's head up here. I'm sorry, I've got to go back for a second. I love how now it's got the sign, respect the cemetery. Wasn't the case before, but we'll do it now. So yeah, so if we head up here, you can see welcome to Old Calton Burial Ground. And a tiny, tiny remaining section, and it really is a tiny remaining section of the same cemetery. Tucked away, ignored, forgotten, but still here. If remember, those people in that hotel, they're getting a nice view into a cemetery. Not very much still here. I don't know if there's any prominent people here. There could be. The fact that some of these graves still have big, what do you call them? Gravestones, monuments. They could just be at least prominent in Edinburgh at the time, I suppose, probably the better way of looking at Margaret Darling, who died 9th of August 1850, and of Margaret McLaren, who died 30th of November 1854. So obviously there are more graves under here. You can see there's the random stone still there for the most part, but more obviously, we look over here, you can see the rest of the cemetery. Dug right through. Dug right through it. So there we go. There's a little bit of history for you there, more the darker side of history. Cemeteries always tend to have that sort of thing. You can see up there one of the watchtowers to stop grave robbers as well. And then again, you can see Abraham Lincoln poking his head up over there. So next time you're here, if you want to show people something that no one really pays attention to, head into the other half of the Old Calton Burial Ground. The forgotten half. Let's call it the forgotten half of Old Calton Burial Ground. There we go. Interesting, isn't it? All in the name of progress. I'm interested in looking at some of these names now. George Lawson, 1892. Some people must have still been getting buried in here. I wonder when Waterloo Place and Regent Road were built. Must have been before that. Some people must have been buried in this last section. 1789. That sounds about more like it. Oh, look at this grand one right here. The Blackwood family also had a little bit of money. 1855, 1828, 1857. Oh, I wish I could make out what that writing said up there, because it's a family motto or something. Anyway, there we have it. There we have it. Hope you've enjoyed that hidden little bit of history there. That's what I like. I like hidden bits of history. Thank you to all my incredible patrons for your ongoing support. Couldn't keep doing this without you, and I genuinely mean that. And if you haven't already, please remember, like, share, subscribe. But till next time, bye humans.